Tonight on Somerville Neighborhood News, primary election results and the energy behind the campaigns, the public and the Board of Aldermen weigh in on the new water and sewer charge, and police body cams are coming to Boston. Will they come to Somerville? All that and more coming up on Somerville Neighborhood News. Hello and welcome to Somerville Neighborhood News. I'm Joe Lynch. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, 2016. Less than 10% of Somerville voters turned out to cast a ballot in last Thursday's primary election, even though 4 incumbents faced challengers in their races for the state Senate, state representative, Middlesex County Sheriff, and Governor's Council races. State Senator Patricia Jalen won a solid victory over Cambridge City Councilor Leland Chung with 80% of the vote. Senator Jalen has held that position since 2005. In a much closer race, Cambridge attorney Mike Conley unseated 24-year incumbent Tim Toomey. Conley will become the state representative for the 26th Middlesex District in January 2017. Incumbent Middlesex County Sheriff Peter Katujian retained his seat, taking 3/4 of the votes cast in his race against Barry Kelleher. And incumbent Terrence Kennedy beat 2 challengers to remain on the Governor's Council from the 6th District. None of the Democratic primary winners will face a Republican opponent in the November general election. Whether it's a primary or a general, Election Day is a busy and nerve-wracking time for campaigns. On primary night, we went behind the scenes at Senator Jalen's campaign headquarters during the last hours of voting, as volunteers did all they could to get out the vote and then waited for results.
Hi. Good, how are you? Good. Hello. Hi, Dana. My name is Kira. I'm calling with Pat Jalen's re-election campaign. Just make sure you had a chance to go and vote today.
That's a hang-up.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Time of the day, I guess.
Have a
They
good
know
night.
who we are.
We were separated first.
Right, you can tell a lot of people out there.
My name is Matt McLaughlin. I'm the campaign manager for Pat Jalen's Senate election. I'm also an alderman in Somerville and all around just active person in democracy. So what's going on tonight and what's been going on the past 6 nights is what we call doors and phones, hashtag doors and phones. It's what wins elections, voter contact, contacting the people, letting them know there's an election, and then getting the people that you know are going to vote for your candidate out to vote.
Andrews Middle School, 3000 Mystical Valley Parkway. Great, thanks.
This is my first campaign.
Yeah, this
for
is
example.
her first campaign.
For example.
She brought her first old man to the polls at 7 p.m.
I did.
He didn't know where the polling location was, and we brought him there. And it was your first experience. It's just not much over the last 2 days, and I'm very excited. This is fun stuff.
Cool experience actually, because he wanted to vote, and he just didn't really have a way to get there, and we were like, we've got our car right up the road. We're gonna figure that out.
And we're not going to stop until about 7:50. And then we're going to rush to the polls and see who won. And I think we're going to be happy tomorrow or tonight. So 8 o'clock the polls close. So we send our precinct captains. We had a precinct captain in every precinct in every ward. They go to the polling location, and the computer that you put all your ballots into, it's going to spit out numbers. And they read those numbers, and then they text us and let us know. So we're the first people to know. So we'll know before almost anybody who won this election.
All right, 2-2-317 to 43.
2-2-317 to 43. Somerville 3-3.
395 Jalen.
Well, are we 3-3?
We're 3-3.
Yeah, 395 Jalen.
395 Jalen, 62 Chung, 20 blank. Winchester, Precinct 4. Pat 198. Leland 68.
Oh my God.
1 blank vote.
For me, I just became a citizen, and that was November 2015. So, and I voted,
Text is better than call.
at the presidential primary for Bernie Sanders, so that was really exciting for the first time that I voted in an American election, my new country, so that was fascinating to me,
We won Medford 3-1.
And the part that I don't like about election, it's just this waiting period now. You know, it's like I can't stand it. You know, it's like, to be honest with you, this is like final countdown.
11-2. 521 Pat. 137 Leland. 5 blanks, 2 write-ins.
Hey, it's democracy, you know, like whoever's gonna win is gonna win. We're gonna accept it because that's what democracy is all about.
All right, take care. We won Cambridge.
Nice. That's awesome.
Make sure your vote is counted on Tuesday, November 8th. The deadline to register is Wednesday, October 19th at 5 p.m. You can register by visiting the election department at City Hall, having the elections department mail you an application, or by going to votema.com. The City of Somerville is looking for polling place workers to help with the November 8th general election. If you are interested in working at a polling place for the day, the City is holding an information session on Thursday, September 15th at 5 p.m. in the Aldermanic Chambers at City Hall. You must be a registered voter to work at the polls, so get out there and register. Reaction to the unannounced charges that began showing up on water and sewer bills has been swift and loud. In response to questions from residents, businesses, and city officials, the Water and Sewer Department held an information session and public hearing on the issue last week. Interim Director Mark Lawhorn once again accepted responsibility for the lack of communication with bill payers and the Board of Aldermen, but defended the charge before taking questions and testimony.
The city owns and maintains 125 miles of water pipes and mains, 128 miles of sewer pipes and mains, and 1,780 sewer connections, along with 14,587 water connections. It's a lot to maintain. It's a big system, and it's an old system that's failing. 70% of our water and sewer system is more than 100 years old. Mains typically last 50 years. So when I say 70% of our water system is more than 100 years old, it doesn't mean 100. They could be 120, 130, 140. We have mains that old. Water and sewer main breaks are increasing every year. I'm sure many of you have been impacted with it since 5/1 sometime this year. And we cannot keep kicking this can down the road. We've done it too long, and we're paying the price for it now.
I completely understand that the sewers were built 100 years ago and they've got a 50-year lifespan. But my question is, what has the water department been doing for the last 50 years? When you have a big crisis like this and it's coming up, in the private sector, you communicate that up to management and then it gets decided that way. And this doesn't appear to have been the case over here. So I think I just don't have much confidence in what's been the management for the last 50 years to solve this problem.
There was no notification, at least I didn't get anything from the city of Somerville stating that you're going to increase my bill. And I think that's a gross disrespect to the residents in Somerville. Because if you're going to do a thing like this, the first thing you need to do is notify the people that you're going to increase the water bill.
The city has lost a lot of trust among the residents with how this went down. So for you to say to me $60 this year, and I know you said we're getting increased emergency repairs that you want to get ahead of, which is a good motion, where will this fee go in future years?
Well, our goal is to keep the base charges level. Absent any catastrophic failures that we have no control over, our planning is to make this all fit. We can do the capital projects, and we've planned accordingly to be able to accomplish this in the next 5 years with the rates we have, the way we have them.
As an owner of a two-family and an occupant of a two-family house in Somerville, is that the rate structure historically is biased against multifamilies with 1 meter. So, for example, I'm overpaying $60 per trimester compared to if I had 2 meters, because I'm not getting that 0 to 1,300 cubic feet rate. I have to pay almost double. I have to pass it on to my tenants. I would like not to. So I don't know if this was the intent of the base charge, but the reality is the base charge does right that wrong, and it makes 2 and 3 families, owner occupants like me, on the same footing as single families or as condos that all have similar, that all have separate meters but are paying a low volumetric rate.
How did the aldermen relinquish their power to allow you to increase this fee? This is a tax. In any other time, you have to, like you're trying to do, override 2.5. That's to increase money. How do you get where do you get this authority to do this?
Because I know I took over as the superintendent from past superintendents who have done it the same way, by law, by statute, by ordinance. What I can tell you is we attached the base rate because we believe it is the way to make it more equitable for you. And it's saving you money rather than raising base rates up.
You raise the problem now that all of us, I think, in the Board of Aldermen have to recognize, whether it's a water sewer enterprise fund, whether it's your taxes, whether it's your fees, it's all coming out of your pocketbook, and we have to look at it as one big kitty, and what are the actions that we're doing in the city as far as raising all of these things having an effect on folks. That ordinance is before the Board of Aldermen now. We're taking a look at it, so we're responding to the concerns that you folks have.
The new charge supports the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund. The money in the fund can only be used for water and sewer expenses like maintaining, repairing, and replacing pipes, as well as outside consultants' fees. The Enterprise Fund is not part of the general city budget, so the Board of Aldermen did not have to approve the charge. But the city solicitor is reviewing the legality of the process used to institute the charge. The Water and Sewer Department will face tough questions from the Board of Aldermen during their regular meeting tonight at City Hall. Somerville Neighborhood News will continue to follow this story and bring you updates. Beacon Street reconstruction continues to mean detours. Beginning this week, Beacon Street between Park and Washington Street will be closed to traffic for 6 weeks. Expect detours to take you onto Washington and Dane Streets. The MBTA Route 83 bus will also be affected. Heading inbound from Porter Square, the bus will follow Somerville Avenue to Union Square, turn right onto Washington Street, then return to its normal route on Beacon Street. Heading outbound from Hampshire Street, the bus will take Cambridge Street, Quincy Street, Kirkland Street, Washington Street, and Dane Street, before returning to Somerville Ave and its normal route. For more information on detours and temporary bus stops, visit www.mbta.com. And for the most up-to-date vehicle travel information, visit the Detours and Construction Updates link at somervillema.gov. In other Somerville roadway news, drivers and cyclists will be happy to hear the Medford Street Bridge has reopened between Pearl and Walnut Streets. The bridge had been closed for more than a year while construction took place along the tracks in preparation for the Green Line extension. Now let's see what's coming up in this week's Somerville Journal with editor Erin Tierden.
This week at the Somerville Journal, we'll take a look at the role money played in the Jalen Chung race for state senate. We'll take a peek at sports at the high school this fall, and we'll have full coverage from the September 11th vigil. You can find us at somerville.wickedlocal.com or reach me at 617-629-3385 or etiernan@wickedlocal.com.
The City of Boston has received the court's okay to move ahead with its police body cam pilot program. Pilot programs have already taken place in several Massachusetts cities and towns, and some have moved on to permanent use of body cameras. Last October, we brought you a story about the possibility of police body cameras here in Somerville. With so much attention on the issue locally, we want to share that story with you tonight.
Recently, police departments across the country have come under fire for controversial policing tactics. Incidents involving police are at the forefront of the public eye, with cases like the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson and the death of Eric Gardner from a police chokehold. Events like these have sparked movements against police brutality, especially from the campaign of Black Lives Matter. The implementation of police body cameras could decrease controversy surrounding the badge. Somerville Mayor Joseph Curtatone has been vocal in his support for police body cameras here in the city.
Chief David Fallon's on, but we're on board and we believe in the utilization of this technology because it offers greater transparency to the public, for ourselves, and greater protections for the public and for the police officers.
The use of body cameras not only offers a new transparency to policing, but also provides a clear account of all police interactions.
We have a greater understanding and visibility and evidence of what occurs in a particular event, incident, traffic stop, or public emergency scene. There's a lot of skepticism of public safety officials, public institutions today. We're real proud of the rank and file in our police department. We have an incredibly progressive police department. Police Chief Dave Fallon is leading that charge. But this offers another level of transparency and accountability that the public really deserves.
New technology, like police body cameras, has the potential to infringe upon privacy rights of Americans. Mayor Curtatone has been working with the American Civil Liberties Union to make sure the public's civil liberties are not forgotten.
So here in Massachusetts, the ACLU of Massachusetts' position is that police body-worn cameras, if implemented with the right policies, can lead to safety, security, and transparency, really on both sides of the badge.
The ACLU thinks body cameras should be turned off in certain situations. For instance, talking to a victim, when entering someone's home, and when speaking with someone providing a confidential tip to the police.
We don't want that information to be recorded and kept forever. There should be deletion policies to say, you know, we're going to get, if we don't need this information, we're going to get rid of it. Because if you collect this amount of data, you can use it for more surveillance state types of things, and that's not what we're asking for. It's not what we're looking for. We also think it's not something that privacy-minded and civil liberties-minded people want to see in society.
The Methuen Police Department just finished a 90-day pilot program with body cameras, and Chief Joe Solomon understands the ACLU's concerns for how long footage should be kept for.
From our readings of what the ACLU is looking at is 30 days. Most officer complaints are 45 to 90 days, so we're feeling 90 days is a reasonable amount of time. I'd hate to have video and get rid of it and not be able to show the person what they thought wasn't accurate, or what they said was accurate, and we're missing the videos.
Those concerns aside, Chief Solomon received nothing but great reviews on the new technology.
We were very happy with the results of the test pilot program that we did. We weren't sure going into it how the reception by the officers would be or how the reception by the citizens were. And as we worked through the pilot program and then we actually did a survey online, we found overwhelming majority of people that were in favor of it.
Now that the pilot program is over, the Methuen Police Department is taking strides to make body cameras a permanent addition to their division.
The goal of the body camera is, people think it's a panacea and it isn't. It's just one more tool that we have, no different than our weapon or our nightstick or our pepper spray or our verbal skills. It's one more tool that we can use and we can have, you know, at our disposal.
Methuen is one of a handful of cities and towns with pilot programs in place. The Essex County Sheriff's Department has been using body cameras for 3 years and works closely with Methuen.
There was a learning curve at the beginning. It's just a matter of remembering to activate it, you know, in any high-stress situations. They're a great tool. I mean, we're being, you know, everybody knows that we're being audio and video recorded with cell phones and stuff like that. So at least now it gives our perspective on, you know, why we did what we did and, you know, in the situation that happened.
Mayor Curtatone and Chief Fallon also talked with departments who have used body cameras to learn how to properly institute the technology.
We are learning more about those municipalities or counties or districts or states that have implemented this technology, and we're going to continue to learn more so we can understand what mistakes have been made and learn from that. We're committed to using them because the benefits to protect people's rights and civil liberties, to offer the greatest transparency for the public, for our officers, are so overwhelming that it makes more than absolute sense that we must pursue this new technology.
Mayor Curtatone is currently in the process of collectively bargaining police body cameras. He hopes to have them installed in about a year. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Ellie Romano.
After the successful pilot program, the city of Methuen has equipped 47 officers with body cams. Chief Solomon plans to have the entire force wearing cameras in the near future. Here in Somerville, negotiations between the city and the police unions continue. Tonight, we say goodbye to a landmark here in Union Square. The Van Gogh convenience store and its mascot, Hunter, have been part of the local landscape for more than a decade. Their departure is another sign of the rapidly changing face of Union Square. Reporter Jeanette Orihel brings us the story.
The shelves of the Van Gogh convenience store are slowly emptying out, and on September 15th, the doors will close forever. Owner Tu Tran says as business has declined, she has been looking forward to a break from the long hours and responsibilities.
Lately, the sweat, like, it's quiet, dead, and like the business going down a little bit. And I can't wait to get out of here because it's 14 years, not too long, but it's not like too short. And I'm tired of working like long hours. Now I just looking for a job like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, vacation benefits and stuff,
Over the years, Tran says rent and other expenses have gone up, making it harder to afford her business in Union Square. And with another rent increase approaching next year, she contacted her landlord about ending the lease early.
When I first started, like the rent about $900, and now after like maybe 14 years, it's like gone up like about $1,600 and change. Plus, I have to pay the property tax, property insurance, and water, and whatever. And he planned to put the landlord planned to put the sprinkler system in here, and he told me to split the spend with him, which is a lot, like about like $7,000, and I don't think I can afford it.
Tran remembers other small businesses in the square that have disappeared over the last 14 years. Gentrification and redevelopment taking its toll on small businesses.
Before, like the salon and the shoe shop next, and then now it's restaurant and bar and restaurant. When I first started here, like a lot of people and busy square, but now it's like the traffic is bad and people don't want to come here anymore. I have a lot of customers say like, oh, because the traffic bad, they don't want to come here. I lose a lot of customers too for that reason.
One loyal customer she did not lose is John Kavanaugh, who's been coming to Van Gogh convenience store since it first opened its doors. He says seeing the store go will hurt the square and neighbors immensely.
It used to be a bunny. Every corner used to have their little store, whatever the neighbors went into. But this is like the last one around here like that. Standing next to soup. You can't buy soup anywhere else in the square. You have to go down to Marketplace to get it. But for stuff like that, this is it. This is the end of it.
And his furry friend will also be seeing the end of daily play dates with one of the corner store's most valued employees, Hunter. Hunter has been coming to work with Tran for the past 5.5 years since his puppy days, and now everyone in the neighborhood knows him, and he knows just about everyone.
That's my niece's dog, who actually takes me down here most of the time now. So she's going to visit Hunter.
It's actually my brother's dog. He brought it home, and I feel bad to leave him home, so I just bring him here, and he's become the Union Square member. I think he's a mayor of Union Square.
But what will Hunter's friend do after the business closes down?
She's going to do what she does every Sunday when they're closed. She comes down here and she scratches on their grate. So I imagine she'll come down every day and scratch on the grate. Yeah.
Outgoing Mayor Hunter greets everyone who passes the store, but shy Peanut, the 11-year-old cat, lets constituents come to her.
She actually Somerville resident. She lives down the street right here at the condo across from the police station. Her mother passed away on September 11, 2011. And nobody taking care of her, so I took her here. And she become Hunter mama. She get along very well with Hunter too. She's a good girl. And a lot of people come here and took a picture of her too.
Tran, Hunter, and Peanut have been an essential part of business in the neighborhood who will be missed by both two and four-legged friends. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Jeanette Orihel.
The building owner told SNN that a new tenant has leased the storefront as of October 1st. We wish Tu and her family the best of luck. And thank you, Mayor Hunter, for all of your service to Union Square. That's our newscast for tonight. We'll be back on September 27th at 7 p.m. on Channel 3. Check out all of our news stories at somervilleneighborhoodnews.org. Somerville Neighborhood News is a community service production of SCAT TV. We invite you to get involved. Visit our Facebook page, SCATV SNN, to comment. Tweet us at SCATVSNN. Call us at 617-628-8826 or email us at news@scatv-somerville.org. I'm Joe Lynch with Hunter, wishing you a happy, healthy, and safe autumn season. Thanks for joining us. See you around the neighborhood.